Hey guys. So, being with the wrong man will age you faster than anything. He will age you faster than life itself. You can have the most stressful job in the world. It won't be the job, it'll be that man. And so, the message of today is the consequences of being in a relationship with the wrong man. And trust me, those are not consequences that you want to see. Like my ex-husband, I was looking at pictures of our relationship, and even though he was like older than me, I looked older than him. But now that we're divorced, he looks older than me. Ha ha ha. But no, seriously, like just being with the wrong man will age you quicker than anything. And the reason being is because throughout life and our journey, there's a lot of healing that needs to take place. The older we get, the more things we've been through, right? Like challenges, and when you're in a relationship, some of those challenges involved loss of a family member or a close friend, loss of a job, growth challenges within the relationship, dry spells, periods of not liking the person that you're with. And obviously, we live in a world today that tends to glorify like all of the great things about life, but we rarely talk about all of the challenges of life. And when you are with the wrong man, he will never take accountability or responsibility for his healing. And if he does, he'll do it in a way where he only takes it so far. And what that can look like is oftentimes he will self destruct. That can look like addictions, bad behaviors, treating you with disrespect. It can come off in various different ways. And the longer you stick around, not only will your self-esteem be diminished, not only will your mental health decline, and obviously it can also break you down spiritually and physically, and that shows up in the body. So now all of a sudden you can have, sicknesses, you can age, and you just carry around a level of stress within your body and within your energy field. And that level of stress is not good long term, right? Like, think about being on the worst diet that you can possibly be on. And being with the wrong man is equivalent to that diet. And I'm talking about the worst diet that you can be on as far as like consuming food, consuming alcohol, the worst mental diet that you can be on, meaning you're consuming things that are negative, you're constantly consuming the news. You're involved in everybody's toxicity and everybody's drama. And then spiritually, right? Like, think about having all of the wrong information. So that's what I mean by just being with the wrong person will break you down and cause you to look 10 times older or 10 years older than you really are. And that's being generous, to be honest, because some people or women stay in relationships a lot longer than they should. And I'm guilty of that too. And if you're listening, you don't have to go through that. Like, I feel like it's a mental, spiritual, and physical prison that we put ourselves in because we recognize the signs. Like, we really do. And obviously, marriage is looked at as something very permanent. So I think when people are looking at it from a perspective of, okay, this is permanent. This is permanent. I have to stick it out. I have to make it work. And that's a great quality to have. But what happens when the other person refuses to do the work? What happens when the other person refuses to take accountability and responsibility for their life, or, their trauma and their healing? What happens when one person stops growing and refuses to grow with you, right? What happens when, as a wife, you're taking on all of your husband's destructive behavior, you're taking on his habits, you're taking on his disrespect, you're taking on his toxicity, you're taking on his trauma? Like, that in itself, me just saying that out loud sounds very, very, very exhausting. And there is a better way. There is a better way, meaning don't rush into a relationship, slow down, and don't settle. Don't settle, because I know, society puts so much pressure on women to be certain things and to get married and have kids, and, and we put our self-worth in the hands of others. But trust me, when you rush and you put your self-worth in the hands of others, that's where things go wrong all the time. All the time. Don't do things because you have FOMO, you have fear of missing out, or you think that time is running out, or your mom is pressuring you to get married, or you're getting older, so you have to have kids, it's now or never. No, because I promise you, if you ignore the things that you want and you don't honor where it is you are in your journey, you will be disappointed. You will be disappointed every time, because marriage is not this highly glorified thing that people make it out to be. And yes, it can be a beautiful thing with the right person. But the issue is, a lot of people end up with the wrong person. The wrong person. We don't vet people properly. And then we go into situations thinking that we can fix people, or, we can take on and tackle their problems with them. We fall in love with potential, or we date out of pity. Oh my gosh, never date out of pity. Never do that. And I can go on and on about this, but being with the wrong person, not only is it detrimental to your health and your physical, well-being, overall well-being, but just look at it like this. I was in four real relationships throughout my life. And I'm in my 40s. And one out of the four relationships actually was a healthy relationship all the way around. So that means 1 out of 4. And I don't know what that looks like for you, or what it looks like for the women in your family. But just consider that, because I promise you, if you look at the odds, you'll start to vet people better, and you'll, have a better discernment, and your priorities will be much different as well. Because when you start to heal and you take accountability and responsibility for your life, and you're constantly, trying to develop yourself, whether it's, career or personal development, you no longer look at relationships the same. You're no longer willing to entertain everyone in every situation, because you understand that everyone in every situation is not for you. And the risk is no longer worth it. Someone that's going to bring you down or not grow with you or help elevate you where you guys can, elevate each other, it's no longer worth it. And if you resonate with this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, thanks. Bye.